Welcome to Legal 123s with ByrdAdatto. Legal issues simplified through real client stories and real-world experiences. Creating simplicity in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Season 11 preview of the Legal 123s with ByrdAdatto. I'm your host, ByrdAdatto, with my co-host, Michael Byrd.
Thank you, Bradford. Hey, let's pause for a moment and acknowledge how cool it is that we've had 10 seasons, Brad.
Wow.
And we could not do it without our loyal listeners. Thank you so much. It's been fun to meet several of you in person or speak with you on the phone. And, of course, would especially like to thank those of you who have shared our podcast, told your friends about it, subscribed, written reviews, and left us those 5-star ratings.
Yes, absolutely. Those 5-star ratings are better than anything else. But yes, thank you for listening to us. And of course, a hat tip to our team, Stephanie and Riley, who helped keep us on track and continue to push out our content. And I still can't believe, Michael, we have over 10 seasons. I mean, that's insane. And I guess before we move on to season 11, let's reflect. We have, again, 10 seasons under our belt. Now, I might be asking you, like, who's your favorite child kind of question here, but what was your favorite season so far?
Well, I know how to navigate this because I've got 5 kids.
Oh, that's true.
And so
not 10 seasons worth of kids, though.
No, but in humans, that's pretty close to the same. And so it depends on the day, Brad.
Yes, it's true.
Some
Fair
days
assessment.
you're in the lead and some days you're not. For today, the season that jumps to mind is the dumpster fire season.
Oh, yeah.
Man, there was so much great lessons to be learned from some really crazy stories, and really enjoyed that season. What about you?
Yeah, it is hard to pick. I mean, I can't believe, our first season just feels like it was yesterday, but I remember how exciting it was during that first season, and now that we're at 10, it's just insane. But much like our audience, who has been very vocal with us, season 7, spotting the red flags with all our ding buttons, that was a ton of fun. And I know that, again, from those who listen to us have expressed that to us. And, and for this new season and the new team they're putting together, I know that we've talked about this, and hopefully by the time this is out live, we'll have some feedback from you guys, and we'll have some audience notes inside this podcast. We'll note, what do you guys seem to like the most? And so we'll list some of the top podcasts that you guys have been listening to us. And obviously, if you listen to it, we figure you like it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, we officially closed out our season, Brad. As you said, it's not based on Naughty by Nature, but it is OPP that we just finished, Other People's Problems, and so it was a great ending to the season. Yeah,
and now we're actually closing out 2022 on top of all that. So next year we'll be launching our newest season the first week of January. Michael, what are we doing next season?
I'm excited, Brad. We will have a mix this season of episodes with guests joining us and some with the two of us. This season's theme is hard conversations.
Uh-oh.
We will take real client stories, and yes, we'll scrub the names to protect confidentiality. And these stories will be built around confronting and having hard conversations. They don't all have great outcomes, but there's plenty of teachable moments and plenty of those pivotal points in the story where someone has to put their big boy or big girl pants on.
Yeah. We've already kind of talked about what the season for Hard Conversations looks like, and it's going to be some amazing stories, and we've got some guests coming that I think will be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're still working on encouraging some of our guests to join us this year to share their actual hard conversations, so we can't share their names yet. However, we can say that series regular Jay Riero will be back in season 11. This season will address a story of developing your plan of action for one client when negotiating an employment agreement, or another situation following the rules, where following the rules is costly. And by not following the rules, it could be deadly.
Yep.
And so it's going to be a lot of cool stories. I touch on an M&A deal and what happens when you got to say no, and or even when you just say yes and realize that you maybe should have had that hard conversation. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And Michael, for the first time ever,
we're taking it on the road. That's right. This podcast, we're going to have a live podcast in Vegas this next season at the Medical Spa Show in February. So who knows what's going to happen with the live audience? I know that all our fans are going to be there screaming my name, and Team Brad will just come out and dominate.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for you, Brad, because I know every one of our recordings, in your mind, there's thousands of fans rooting you on.
Yes, and there's like one.
Just
for
you? Yeah.
For you, yeah.
Yeah.
It's me. I'm rooting for you, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we'll see when we actually have real humans and not just your imagination. It should be fun.
Yeah. Well, we are continuing to be amazed and grateful to all our loyal listeners who continue to join us each week at the Legal 123s with ByrdAdatto and keep sharing our content. Very thankful for you. And now we're just going to say goodbye, and we look forward to joining you in 2023 for Season 11, which will be starting Wednesday, January 4th. Until then, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
ByrdAdatto is providing this podcast as a public service. This podcast is for educational purposes only. This podcast does not constitute legal advice, nor does it establish an attorney-client relationship. Reference to any specific product or entity does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by ByrdAdatto. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. Please consult with an attorney on your legal issues.